What's going on, guys? I thought I would do a video releasing, obviously, what's been all over the news and what happened to us this past Tuesday about the break-in and the robbery. I didn't want my only story out there. I'm doing this completely raw, by the way. So I'm probably going to stutter and not know what to say half the time. I've never really done this before. So yeah, on that night we were broken into. It was one guy and he seemed to literally have took everything. I didn't want my only story out there, like I was saying, to be by the journalist, because half of what I said, you know, we know what journalism is like. So I wanted to do this myself and explain and maybe raise awareness for what happens, because in all fairness, like, it's no, you kind of understand and realize that it's absolutely crippled me. For days, you know, I haven't really left the house or done much. To lose the amount of money we have, which, you know, we could easily put figures here, there and everywhere, but it's a lot of money. An incredible amount of money. And obviously everything of expense was taken. You know, some of the smaller cards and stuff we've been left with, of course. But losing things, you know, he took booster boxes from Sun and Moon and Broken Bonds, which, you know, the reason I've put that one out there is because it's quite a unique piece. Tons of alternate arts, Moonbryon, prismatic, mangas, graded One Piece cards, graded the list goes on and on and on. Probably 1,000 cards, all that were in the card wall, so, you know, all of a pretty high significance and value, dating back to some of the vintage ones, you know, the Shinings and whatnot. So I saw on Facebook, I think on Peterborough Telegraph, that, you know, some people were saying, oh, inside job. I mean, they said that the glass is on the outside. The glass is on the outside because here they have laminated glass, and laminated glass, you know, as you can see, I'm going to pop some images up throughout the video just so you can actually see what happened clearly from my point of view, that were taken by me. And I might even pop some CCTV footage up of the guy, which, you know, I didn't really want to do, and I haven't released it because, one, obviously it might tamper with the investigation, and two, I kind of wanted to keep that to myself. You know, I get nothing out of people knowing, really, you know. I think 15 years ago I started this. You know, it was incredibly dead then. The hobby was very quiet. People were asking me why I was even doing it. Just buying cards, selling it, just enjoying it, collecting. I had so many binders. They weren't worth much. It was just something that I enjoyed doing after finding my childhood collection, maybe a little bit earlier than others. You know, and for a lot of it, I was working as a floor layer at the time, as a tradesman. I had a flooring company, and I would just come home in the evening and I would sell cards, collect, you know, to be able to make sure I can buy more cards, so I didn't have to dip into the house money and stuff. And over time, you know, it was mostly auctions. Maybe I could find some clips, I'm not sure. Me, just £1 auction every way. And over years and years, just building myself up, maybe going to some card shows, networking a little bit. Just doing what I could, really, to, you know, what you would do for the hobby and the thing that you're passionate about. And then over time, obviously, I really fell in love with it. You know, the hobby was great. It was, most people just wanted to collect and get their favorite cards. They were easily accessible. You could go anywhere and get product. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. The pool rates were horrendous, but it was like really, really fun to be involved in this hobby. Then obviously it exploded, COVID and everything, which was good for the hobby at a point. I think it was good. People really like checked back into it. The nostalgia got people and stuff like that. But realistically, that also has invited a lot of people that are in it for the wrong reasons, you know. And still to this day, a lot of people do come in and they will say, you know, oh, how can I make this much money off this, or how can I do this? And the reality is, you know, I may as well say it here, making money off Pokemon cards is extremely difficult, right? And it's very saturated. You need incredible knowledge, just like you would in any collectible game. I do ramble a bit, so bear with me. But I will get to the point. So basically, like, all of this stuff, you know, that comes in over time has shattered me a bit with the hobby. We've been, I think, robbed 3 times. You know, normally it's in store. You know, slipping the odd cards up your sleeve. We were robbed for 5,000 to 7,000 a couple months ago. They took a lot of like the prime cards that we had. I think we had base set Shadowless Mewtwo, and we took a lot of stuff from store, and that crippled me enough. You know, losing that much money and that much stock. But this is, you know, I think, I don't want to put it in this term, but I think if any of us lost 50,000, 80,000, it cripples you. So my point was in this, you know, I've been coming over the last month, and I think people are always like, oh, cheer up, or this or that. And I think I've just fell out of love with it a bit. And, you know, I came in this because I left a very, you know, lucrative and profitable trade business for this because I just loved it and it was my passion. And I always have loved it. Like, honestly, if people know me, I'm here this is my life. You know, from card shows to traveling to meeting with people, it's my life. You know, my personal collection I've always worked on. And over time, you know, we're just seeing more and more people for the wrong reasons come into it. And if anyone knows me, I am very against inflated prices. It really gets me bad. And you probably saw, if you've got me on Instagram, my complaints the other week about the new One Piece coming out. I just don't understand it. You know, I really don't understand it. But obviously with demand, price goes up. So yeah, I think now with this, it really crippled me to the point where, you know, I was debating just shutting it, because it's like, realistically, the hobby's not what it used to be for me personally. And the amount that I've just been like obviously robbed for it's life shattering, you know. And I saw someone's comment on the Facebook, and it said, you know, imagine you had a small business and all that was taken from you or from your house or whatever, right? Whatever you have or your assets in life, your car was taken, your TV, whatever, right? You would be distraught. So that is how I've been feeling. And, you know, for a 30-year-old like I am, to lose that much is that I've worked so hard for. You know, not many people know, but we didn't take any loans for this business. We built it up from a small little shop, and we were like planning to move to a bigger one soon. I just don't know where to go from here, but I will say this. In the last, you know, 48 hours, 72 hours, I always used to watch some like YouTube videos and these kind of raw videos, and they would always like compliment the people, right? And I always used to think it was a bit cliche, but it's so true. The amount of messages I've had and just nice words and help, and it makes you realize what you've built. And that's amazing, man. Like, I think, so like the guy who works for me, Josh, he told me last week, you know, kid was coming in and all he wanted to do was see me. People come here, they're like, oh, I want to go see the Pokémon man and do this. And it's like, doing this stuff for these people, it hits you, man. You know, it gets you. It really does. It like, it turned my frown upside down, shall I say. Like in the last few days, getting all these messages, like honestly, I must have had over 1,000, 1,500 messages from people on different social media apps. Oh my God. Like I'm so lucky to be in that position where people, you know, give a shit about the shop, and even to a certain extent me, you know. And it's always been tough being a card shop owner, and like I said, I was a tradesman for so long, and people always think, I thought this when I was in it. You think, oh, you've got the hardest job in the world, it's physically tiring, you're doing all these hours, lifting things upstairs, kneeling down all day. This is way harder. You know, trying to keep everyone happy, which you do that as a shop. I don't care what anyone says, you do that as a shop. You try your hardest to make sure everyone is happy, and it just doesn't always work like that. And, you know, you try to make sure every review is good because you care about your company, but, you know, you can't please the world. And that's the hardest thing to realize, you know. And as open and how much I love this hobby, I can still succumb to this, you know. It happens to me because the reality is of the world, you know, there are these people out there. There are these people out there, and, you know, like the police said to me, you know, they're probably not his first and probably won't be his last. And this is the reality of it. People, You know, they've got to do what they've got to do to get by, and I'm by no means saying that it's right. But what I am saying is, you know, it can happen to any of us. And this is why I'm saying, like, if you do own a Pokemon card shop, I know probably many shop owners probably won't watch this, apart from Pokemon cards, just secure it to the max. Which is, each digresses me to my next point. And this is a very important point to answer a lot of questions. How were we so easily robbed? How were we so easily robbed? In hindsight, it wasn't that easy. So where we are, our store, we have an agreement, and the agreement states that we are not allowed alarms or CCTV footage. I have been battling back and forth with them over time to try and get that changed, and it won't happen. I was getting emails saying basically take your stuff down, blah, blah, blah. You know, and they're a good company, you know, they are. And I understand it's in the license, you know. So I was like, okay, you know, they've got their own cameras, their own security system. Like, if anything happens, that'll pick it up, right? Wrong. So I was under this illusion. I think we spent nearly £1,000 getting the top security, right, in the store. This is before all this happened, from Verisure. I'm talking everything, shock sensors, everything. And we had to turn it off, we had to deactivate it. So I went out and I bought my own Wi-Fi kind of CCTV camera to put in the store. And kind of like wanted to keep it a bit hidden, but it was like, I really needed it to protect us. So we did have that in, which is how we caught the CCTV of the guy. So then after I asked them, can I have the CCTV footage from the outside? The cameras don't work. So obviously that's destroyed me on its own. You know, one of the biggest evidence we'd have had while he was at the door trying to get in, which would have took him a while because there's hammer holes all the way through it. Once again, I might have already popped pictures up, or if I haven't, then you'll see. That would have massively saved us. Now, will they catch the guy? We have a lot of evidence, that he's kind of messed up with. So probably. Will I get my stuff back? Probably not. And that's the reality of it. Everything I've tried to do the last few days in my career whilst doing this and trying to please everyone, you know, we were buying from America, we were buying off the public. Most of the people that come here know this. And we were losing on some, right? I think we bought a lot of ETBs recently off customers, Mega Revolution, and we lost money on them. But we done that so people had product when they came in, you know? And we look at it as, oh, do you know what? The singles will make us money. So we'll just make sure the customers are happy when they come in and get stuff. Because the distributors, you know, we got tons of boxes of the last One Piece, and they were sold out in 3 to 4 days. After that, how are you going to put stock in your store? Well, you have to go to the public or eBay just like anyone else would. And that is, I'm going to speak for every store. I know that every store, because we are a high tier store, we get a good amount of stock. And I'm telling you, every store has to go through this problem. You know, they have to line their shelves from the market. And it's unfortunate how that's gone, but I think a lot of people are beginning to understand that now. So all the hard work and all the time that we were sacrificing our pocket and our money in this company to try and make sure that people have product and people were happy and they could come here. Our Collector's Corner has always got product. They've always got something on their shelves. It might not be the best thing, might not be the thing that's came out, but they've always got something that I can go in there and open. To have this done to me is just, you know, leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. But what people have shown me over the last few days is they do care. And what I've done here isn't for nothing. So I don't know if I've covered everything. You can see the cardboard behind me, it's completely bare. All that was taken. So I don't want to rumble on too much because everyone knows I'm the biggest rambler going. I could probably do this for 45 minutes and I don't want to do that. That's no good. But this is basically the story. This is what happened. Like I said, hopefully maybe I've put the image that we got off the CCTV. Sorry if it isn't the greatest, but at the end of the day, it was one I bought off eBay. So we are going to rebuild. What people have shown me is that, you know, I didn't get into this for money. And yes, it's broke me. It has broke me as a person. But I didn't get into this for money. I swear to God. I got into this because I loved it. You know, I can look you dead in the eyes and say, I got into this because I loved it. And for me, we're going to rebuild and I'm going to open again as soon as I can. And whether our shelves or our cards aren't as stocked as before, so what? you know, we know what we do here, and I'm hoping this gets out to at least a few people and they can understand. Obviously, I didn't make it straight away because I've borderline been depressed. But I thought I deserved to put something out there so people can understand. Please look after your businesses and your house for that matter. You know, the world is a bad place at times. As much joy as there is in it, there's a lot of crap too. So thank you everyone for listening. I really appreciate it. We will be back open again soon. If I forgot something, which I probably have, as I didn't write down any of this, then maybe I'll cover it in the comments below. But I really, really appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. So let's keep on collecting, I guess.